Hello everybody and welcome back to Crazy Bees. My name is Debbie if you're new, and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be working on the yard. I just got home from work. I had to do a couple office buildings this morning, no big deal. And it is beautiful out today. It's probably going to be in the mid-70s, which is just perfect. We're going to trim up some peppers today in our middle raised bed, and then we have to clean out the other raised bed. We need to empty our gorilla barrel that has some dirt in it, so I'm going to build some berms up. We need to whitewash the trees before it starts getting too hot. That really helps protect them from this Arizona sun. And then I'm just going to enjoy this weather and everything that is coming to life and blooming, and it just warms my heart, makes me feel good, and I just love being outside. So we're going to do that, so let's get started. All right, here we are at the peppers, and we need to get these guys all fixed up here. So like this plant here, like I gotta pick that pepper off, but a lot of this is not as damaged as some of the others. So I'm going to go down to where I'm not seeing the yellowing leaves, down to the next node, and I'll cut just above that node at a 45-degree angle. But here I'm going to want to restake this, so I'm going to bring this back a bit so that I'm able to do that. When Tom comes out here and he sees me doing this, he just has a fit.
He's gonna cry.
Candace said he's gonna cry. He always thinks they're not going to come back, but don't worry, they will. They'll come back, and they're going to come back in a flush because they're not going to be carrying all this dead and old on them that was damaged from the frost. Now look at this. There's actually grass growing up through this thing. Look at that. Isn't that funny? Look at that, Candace. It's a weed that was growing in the pipe.
Oh my gosh. You know what's actually hilarious? I thought that was a special plant that you had like in there.
No, it's grass.
Like not bamboo, but something. I was just like, okay, whatever she's doing with that.
Nothing grows better than a weed. Alright, I'm going to go get a cage for this, and I'm going to cage this guy up. Before I cage him up, I did get a cage, but before I cage him up, I need to do this other plant. I think we're just going to pull this one because there's not much life on this at all. And we have babies that can come into this space that would not be struggling as much as this one's going to. So we're just going to pull this one. See, there's just no life on this, except for maybe a couple things right there, but there's not even anything coming in on the base. So we're going to get rid of that. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get rid of this one too. This was one of Tom's favorites, but the fruit on here is soft. It got hit hard by that frost. So we're going to pull him too. Look at our little friend. Hey, hi. Put him back. All kinds of worms in here. I love to see that. Now that is not a weed. Okay, now this one here, you can see that there's a bunch of life on this one. We're going to trim it back a little bit, but we're going to leave it in there. But this guy, we can put that cage around now. Get in there. There you go. Make sure I don't squish him. There we go. Now he'll be able to grow up in there. Okay. Now we're going to come down to this guy. Hey, Tom's going to want me to leave all of that on there. So we'll just cut the tops. Here, I don't know. I think we can save him. But working on these guys, this one right here, he's gone. This one here, we need this to branch out more. So we're going to come down here and cut this. So these guys will branch out. This one here, you can see where there's all kinds of green growth right here at the base. So we're going to save this, and we're just going to cut all the way down and get rid of all the dead wood.
Come on.
at all of this beautiful life. The apple trees, the peach trees, the nectarine, the apiarium. The apricot is starting to come to life right here. And then over here we have the mulberries that are getting all greened up. And we have our peach trees right here that are just beautiful. We're going to have to pull our broccoli. It did not head up. One did, and something ripped the head off of it. But the other ones just did the little side shoots, but I never got a good head off of my broccoli again. I got to work on doing my broccoli better. We have not yet gotten to our raised bed over there. That still has to be cleaned out. And I have to get back under here and get this mint out of here. Again, it just wants to keep taking over. Do any of you know if mint can make a good ground cover if it's enclosed like this? What are your thoughts on that? Do you all remember how much we took off of this pomegranate? Look at, it wasn't but a couple weeks after I did that it just started greening up like crazy. I think it's going to be a lot happier being thinned out. And we have our yellow bell right here, which is starting to get some new growth on it. I'm happy to see that. And the aloe all over the yard is just extremely happy. And the hummingbirds just love the flowers on the aloe plants. Look at what I just noticed. Our little grapevine over here has a leaf on it. Oh, I just love spring. And I always get worried about the grapevines that I didn't do them right. But I remember last year it took them a while to start getting green. They weren't one of the first things to get green. So, again, I hope I did it right. Alright, now we're going to have some fun. I have an old knife that I don't use, and we're going to propagate some lemongrass. These lemongrass are getting older, so I'd really like to start another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get below the soil level, and I'm going to cut if you had one of those machetes, that'd work good. What we want is root. And here you have the start of another plant. See that long base root right there? I could literally start 3 new plants just with this. That is just all root. I mean, it's just solid, solid root. Let me turn the camera over a little bit. I've had this lemongrass for quite a while. But you can see how spongy that is. It's just all root. Oh my gosh. All the way down. It's just completely rooted. Look at that. So, we're just gonna cut into this. There we go. Let's loosen this up. And then I can just pull from this. Little babies. Still can't pull it apart, my goodness. Okay. There we go. Now we got all of these new shoots that we can start. So we got all of these off of that one cluster. So I've got them all separated and I'm making 2 pots. I'm going to leave this other one that's got the big cluster just in case this doesn't work right. But I've got this pot all filled in. I got one more space I can put another one in here, right here. And these roots, I'm just digging these roots down in. Planting it in there, and those will just all start growing. And then this guy, I had, when I first started doing any kind of container planting, I had, it's only got 1 hole in the base, so it doesn't have a lot of drainage, so we'll have to be careful when we water this one. But I had that hole and then some netting under that. It was kind of like a shade cloth. And then I had rocks on top of that, and then I had planted in here. Whatever I planted in here never really did well, so I took all of that out, and I just filled that with dirt now. And now I'm just going to put this lemongrass in here and see how it does. And I'm going to have some extras. So, but I just took them all out of there, because that was just completely rooted out. It was just a whole root ball. So here we got new lemongrass. And once it gets going, we can do some different recipes with lemongrass, because it's actually very good for you.
Poisonous to dogs,
What?
Isn't it poisonous to dogs?
Lemongrass?
That's what it said on that list.
Oh, I sure hope not. We'll have to check into that. Candace is thinking that it might be poisonous to dogs, but my dogs have never touched it. But we'll have to check into that and let you know. We're finding that there's a lot of things that are poisonous to animals that we didn't know what were. So there we go. We'll see how all of this turns out. Got all of that dead stuff gone. Got some dill going right here. This is the mammoth dill too. So never think that you just, you can't do something if something is root bound or whatever. Try to propagate it first and see if you can get a whole nother new growth out of it. Propagating you can do with a lot of plants that you wouldn't think that you could do. So we're going to leave these and we're going to see how they do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this and it gave you some good ideas. And as always, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.